baby. We're back. We're fucking back. We're fucking back. And the question of the day is,
why are you gay?
Why are you gay? To open this one off. Oh man, the soundboard's gonna be on fucking fire tonight. I'm really excited about this one as Bitcoin having a pretty heroic bounce off of that after that $49,000 level or so. I need to get my notes ready in the background over here. There's actually something very important to be aware of. Elsa, can you close the door in the background as well? It makes me feel unsafe to not have this room nice and secured. We have some very important information to be going over today because this dump that we're seeing right now, this August dump is something that, we've seen many times before, actually, in the history of Bitcoin. Or sorry, not in the history of Bitcoin, but in the history of traditional markets, which was a big focus actually last year. If you remember 1 year ago, almost to the day, I believe it was maybe like a few days later than this, we went over a video going over the historical results of August lows in traditional markets, specifically in the year before elections. And in today's video, we're actually going to be expanding upon that analysis because I do believe that it is playing a part in what we're seeing right now, and is going to put into perspective where Bitcoin is in the greater, or sorry, not Bitcoin, but traditional markets are in the greater scheme of things, and probably Bitcoin to follow on top of that. At least that is the biggest hoping that I can really follow up for today's analysis, and that'll be the focus. I need to make sure that I have everything settled over here. We do. That's good. I got my comments over here, and we're actually using the not a new computer, but the old computer, but a new setup with it, which is hopefully working well right now. So do let me know in the comment section if there is some sort of issues. What the fuck? You're still here? It's like a little goblin in the background going hee 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 hee. It's like, what the fuck is going on right there? But yes. Anyways, I got a nice cup of caffeine in my hands right now. I'll give a little bit more time for people to kind of join on in as well. I see that we got over 800 people watching as of this moment. That's awesome, man. And 39 likes on the video as well. Terrible ratio, but you know what? It is what it is. You can only get what you can only get so much. And I just make sure that everything is settled on in the background here as well. I'm actually a little bit late to my own stream. I was having my own pre-stream dump and getting my caffeine as well. So it's been a very quick morning here. I woke up a little bit later than I probably should have, and this stream itself will be about, I will have to cut it off around 10:30 because I do have a massage at 11, and it is actually it's really important that I get my massage taken. My fucking neck is absolutely wrecked from this boxing training, but goddamn, man, I'm really, really excited. Hopefully we can actually get a match because I would absolutely love that, and hopefully we'll know very, very soon. Anyways, I see a lot of familiar faces in here. What's up, Tom Struck? Good morning to you, man. I Vape, good name as well. Ben Dumont, that's a difficult one to say. Whale Talk, Vacation Time 247. Are you on vacation right now? Japan rug pulled us. Did they rug pull us, or did they just pull down your pants and get ready for some ramming action? Well, perhaps yes, but ultimately I do think that this will be short-lived here, especially with the way that traditional markets have bounced. I think that is kind of the key to today's analysis, as we'll be going over, because traditional markets have had a fucking super strong bounce, especially for the tech sector, which obviously got hit the hardest as well, so you would kind of expect that. But realistically, this market is likely to take a bit of a slumber, I do suspect, into the election period. We're probably not going to see, any major massive moves between now and then. I think that we've kind of seen the massive move already, and then, the setup is really going to be for probably late October to early November. But, this is the time to kind of be posturing yourself for that in preparation, as that's when I suspect that the fun times do happen. I see. So is that Hebrew? I don't know what language is that. Thanks for the excellent content, man. I appreciate that. I've been in the cave since the days of the green dildos. Fuck yeah, man. We need to bring back the green and red dildos. I don't have my bear and bull Jesus in costume anymore, unfortunately. But one day. Anyways, I see Johnny. I see Live Free. I see John. We got John and Johnny and Kenny Espinito. I've actually been watching Kenny Powers recently. Great show, man. Absolutely fucking great show. And a lot of new faces in here as well. That's awesome, man. Did he just say short-lived? Short-lived for what? Short-lived for traditional markets? Yeah, I actually do think that this current dump is short-lived. I mean, quite literally, I do think that you probably already seen the lows for traditional markets. It might fish those lows a few more times, maybe make a slightly new low, but I don't think that you're going to see anything more severe for traditional markets. It was a one-day recession. It's a one-day recession. That's right. Traditional market. I always say Bitcoin, but traditional markets come down for one day. It's recession fears. It's time to talk about interest rates. It's time to talk about Japan. It's time to talk about getting absolutely fucking wrecked. And then one day later, it's all rainbows and sunshine yet again. You gotta love it, man. Monthly podcast with Fib Swani. Yeah, man, of course, I'm always in talks with him. So, he'll come back whenever he has something new on. But, usually his stuff is very high term time frame. So, it doesn't update super often. What are you doing? I need to stretch. I need to stretch my arms. Done. I do hold off on making any sort of major proclamations for Bitcoin because I do think that still more needs to be seen for Bitcoin. But traditional markets are probably going to be the key to this, and I do think that's probably the biggest source of hopium, at least for today. So yes. One day dump, it's over. That's exactly how it goes. For one day, all of the people who are calling for a recession and the market to crash for the last 18 months straight, they were right. They were right for one day. But now it is time. Now it is time to lock back on in, I do believe. Don't forget unemployment. At the end of the day, these sort of things. Sorry, I'm getting distracted by some of these amazing comments. Crypto Mega Chill says, Krown, crypto gay for TA, sir. Moving on. Yes, indeed, sir. You get wrecked? Did I get wrecked? No, I actually have not. I've not gotten wrecked just yet. My rectum is still intact, despite my morning dumps. Big yikes. Schiff is actually right. No, I don't think so, man. Schiff is going to be right once every 10 to 20 years. And last time he was right was 2008, I do believe. So, he's got maybe another, 5 to 10 years from here. Still butt wrecked. Butt wrecked indeed, my man. My rectum is wrecked. Gay for TA, baby. Exactly, my man. Exactly. That's exactly what we're here. Gay? And that's what we need to know right now. Kramer is right. He was right for a little bit of time as well. You got to give credit where credit is due, right? You can't be wrong all the fucking time. Just like you can't be right all the time as well. It's a probabilistic game, and of course, Elsa says that she can be right all the time. Yes, you are on the right side of the political spectrum. We already know this. We've already discovered this. If you want to check out Elsa on Twitter, she has been posting lefty news from Finland, which is absolutely hilarious, as you would expect. I do appreciate that, Jojo. I very much appreciate that, my man. I showed my wife the "Why Are You Gay" clip last night. It's a tremendously legendary clip, man. I love it, man. Schiff enjoying his day in the sun finally after 15 years. Yeah, exactly, man. When you're always calling for a crash, and then the one day that you get a crash, you proclaim, you're right. It's like from the time that you were calling for a crash to the time that it actually did crash, the markets are still massively up. That's the problem with that kind of stuff. I do think that the movie The Big Short probably did a lot of damage to the current crop of investors and traders out there, because now everyone wants to be the hero who shorts the top, and that's a really hard game to play. It's a really fucking hard game to play. The longer that I do this, the longer that and the more that I get into more long-term investing, I'm not as interested in shorting the market. I'm more interested in playing the upside, because the upside has more long-term viability, and it's a lot easier on my fucking heart rate and hairline as well, which is good. I had to get a fucking hair transplant. Krown is right even when he is wrong. No, I definitely get it wrong as well. As you've seen. At the end of the day, I always like to present probabilistic setups, so it's guaranteed I'm going to be wrong. Usually I try to choose ones that are 60% ish to 70% ish right. So, 4 out of 5 times, or sorry, 4 out of 3 times, it does happen, but it is what it is, man. Hero trading at big nope. Exactly, man. Exactly. It's really sexy. It's really fucking, it feels really fucking good when you actually do short the top, and there's a tremendously nasty drop soon to fall after that, because, the downside happens a lot faster than upside. The old saying is you take the stairs up and the elevator down. And so it's a lot more exciting, when you're on the right side of things, when things are going down, of course. So I totally get the allure, and I've been that person myself. myself for sure. But as I kind of, get a little bit older and go into a more of an investing mindset, I just, it's just like you look at the fucking data, it's not the right thing to be doing. I mean, yes, you can play protective around those times, but I'm really just looking for more areas to get long, basically, especially in traditional markets. And I was actually talking with my mentor last night, my main mentor, and he thinks the lows are in too. I mean, he was the first one to tell me, and I'm like, say, hey, you're looking at this, or you're looking at that. I'm like, yeah, okay, I think you're right. I think you're right. This is a guy who's in his 70s now, but he's been looking at the markets for, it's got to be like 40 years plus now, and that sort of experience just cannot be denied. And usually on traditional markets, he's very, very accurate. So it's good to hear. It's good to hear that as well. That good feeling feeds bad habits. Exactly, man. But that's okay. We all have our vices. And that's okay, sir. Give my TA big hairy daddy. We'll get to that soon enough. I'm giving a little bit more time for people to join on in here. We got 1,300 people watching as of right now, so that's pretty damn good. I'm still working on my caffeine as well. Perhaps I can go to my other view as well. That's when the issues started to happen last week. If you do remember, the live stream started to lag up. So I'm just going to go over to my other view for the moment and just see if things hold up here. Hopefully it does, because I'd really like to use this streaming software, because I do think that it is objectively better, or at least makes for a better engagement here, as I can actually see everything on one screen, which is really, really good, and all the comments as well. And you can actually even see your own comments on the stream if it does start coming through. Let me just see. Hey, yes, there they are. Okay, nice. All right, beautiful. Yeah, no issues just yet. That's good. I raised the bit rate to astronomical levels, and I'm actually using my GPU to encode this one. So let me just check in on my GPU. Okay, yes, beautiful. All right, so my CPU is at 25%, my GPU is at 45%. Great. All right, perfect. That should be fine. I think we're going to be okay for today's stream. That's really, 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 really good. I just need to finish off this caffeine, and then we can actually get into the analysis of the day. Again, very specifically going to be focused on traditional markets here, because that is where the obvious things are happening. And, typically we do see these markets kind of play hand in hand, although Bitcoin, if traditional markets do kind of fish the current lows again, you should expect Bitcoin to do the same, maybe even make a slightly new low. But ultimately, I do believe it's probably going to be running things, especially into the actual elections. So I do think that the setup really does take this next month or so. Things do probably get a little bit slow here, but that is going to be a good thing for the boo laws. His papa nursed him till he's 13. That's right. I wasn't even born. I was just spawned at the age of 13. I just came into this world and I was already like slightly hairy. It's crazy, man. Absolutely fucking crazy. Lots of our shitters lost levels you spoke about last live. Does that black swan invalidate those levels? For shitcoin mythic, sorry, I'm just referencing Mythic OG's comment right here. For shitcoins, it's a different ballgame. I don't fucking know, because with shitcoins, like they can get creamed and then get creamed and then get cream pied again and again and again. And the problem is that if and when Bitcoin is obviously having a very nice bounce right here, and some of the stronger altcoins I have seen have had some pretty nice bounces as well. But the ones that are not within that, which is pretty much almost all of them, like 95% of them, I would expect this would be kind of like my general theory, and typically what does happen is that, look, Bitcoin can continue on with its cycle, sure, but on any downside move, those altcoins will continue to make new lows, and they will just continue on with the overall downtrend. So on Bitcoin bounces, they make lower highs. On Bitcoin, retest of lows, it would probably make new lows. So it's really, really difficult to trust shitcoins, as always. That's kind of the problem with them, is that even if they have great fundamentals, these fundamentals that make a whole hell of a lot of difference, at the end of the day, the trajectory over time for probably 95 to 98% of shitcoins is just generally down. It's just generally down. Of course, nothing really ever hits zero, but it does get something much worse than that. It becomes irrelevant. It becomes irrelevant to where it goes into that dead heartbeat, barely moving at all at the very end of it, and you're still holding on. Just one more pump, baby. Just one more pump. I read it on crypto Twitter. This is the accumulation by whale pattern, and soon enough, it's going to be going straight up. They just want me to capitulate my Cardano coins low. That's what's happening right here. It's the next Ethereum, don't you know? And Ethereum's doing oh so well right now as well. So Define shitcoin for me. Okay, so honestly, man, I call anything besides Bitcoin a shitcoin. That is a term of endearment. Obviously, not everything besides Bitcoin is literal shit. There are going to be some other, tremendously successful altcoins that are not named Bitcoin. But do I know what they are? No. Have we even seen like the best ones come out yet? Maybe not. This market is still, generally young and for right now, the promising ones are obviously Ethereum, and then you got Solana, and then maybe a few things, underneath those. But for the most part, most things are garbage. I mean, most companies fail. It's not even that it's not even that they're scams. Like even the legitimate ones, most companies fail. Even the companies that are trying to be legitimate, they fail. That is just a business truism. I think it's like 80 or 90% of businesses fail within the first year. Most of these things don't even have a business, but the ones that do, those will also play in alignment with those statistics. Like 89% of them are they're just gonna fucking fail because most of them fail. That just is what it is. So unfortunately, but yeah, most things in this market are just garbage. I mean but it doesn't mean that you can't make money on it. And look, like for the people who talk about fundamentals and shit, do fundamentals matter? I mean, it's a hard question to answer because the realistic output for this cycle should be very clarifying on that question. What do I mean by that? What I mean by that is what has led this cycle? Fucking meme coins. What do meme coins have as fundamentals by definition? Pretty much nothing. Pretty much nothing. So it's like you rely. It's like if your thesis is that fundamentals are what is going to make your coin like the most important thing, and then you see that going on. It's like, does it really matter? No, the market cycle matters. The market cycle is what makes everything kind of tick, and then whatever companies are actually legitimate, they will be revealed during that. That's it, man. Brett Baby says, John, I don't know, maybe Brett's doing well as one of the better meme coins. And, look, when you have a hot sector like the meme coin sector, this cycle, that's the one to pay attention to. That's just that is the way that it has been for every fucking cycle. 2017, you had the ICO craze. So all of those things, anything that was an ICO, it just went to the fucking moon and beyond. That was just the name of the game. And then what happened after that? We had 2020. It was the DeFi sector. Everything that was DeFi went to the moon and beyond. It didn't matter what it was. Didn't matter if it was a scam or not. Then in 2023, we have the meme coin cycle, and everything that's a meme coin goes to the fucking moon and beyond, and everything else kind of gets left more or less in the dust, except for some of the more legitimate things, which have obviously printed new highs or retested those prior highs. So that's, the main thing that I really be kind of focusing on there. It's about the cycle and the sector. Cycle and sector, that's what makes it, if you are looking for those like crazy astronomical gains, and everything else more or less just gets forgotten. It more or less gets forgotten. And anyone who's been around for at least one cycle, has experienced this. You don't even have to know it. You've experienced it, so you know it to be true. You know it to be true. And I don't expect that to be changing, anytime soon. And that's even the way that it goes in traditional markets too. The way that it goes in traditional markets it's a little bit more sophisticated, it's a little bit more mature, but it goes in rotations, is what it's called. So you have different sectors that get rotated, and that's the way that they kind of keep the whole market going up in its totality, like the major indices, while different sectors kind of get rotated around. Some go up, and some go down, and then they kind of just look overall healthy at the end of or not at the end of the day, but at the end of like the month or the year. It looks like one kind of just straight line regression to the upside. Hey, thanks for that, Stefan. Appreciate that, man. Invest in XRP, says Big Bull. It's a great investment if you like literally going sideways for the past, 6 years. Something like that, man. I don't know. Look, I've heard everything under the sun supporting XRP, and I have not seen it do fuck all since basically 2017. Not a good sign in my opinion, but hey, there is one thing going for XRP. It has held its macro cycle lows from cycle to cycle. You know what else has? Doggy coin. Why are you gay? I don't know.
Doesn't that make you gay?
That makes me gay as well. My rotation is rotating, just like politics. Politics rotate as well, of course. How are you going to let Ben Armstrong push you around like that? I don't know. I mean, what? Who? Ben. That's BitBoy. Last I heard, Bencoin or something like that was getting the CFTC was going after them, but who knows what the hell comes out of that, and who knows what the truth is there as well. It is what it is, man. My boss is all in on XRP. I show him the Solana versus XRP chart. You should just show him the XRP versus USD chart every Monday morning. I bet he loves you. I bet he loves you as well, man. Look, people get addicted to whatever their favorite shitcoin is because it's very difficult to admit that you're wrong on something. It hurts our ego. It becomes a part of our identity. And when it becomes a part of our identity, it becomes like, it's almost like you're experiencing death when you start to deviate from that original thought. I know this sounds intense, but it is true. I mean, it is almost like a death of self. That's why it's very difficult to let go of these more cultish sort of coins, and why those cultish sort of coins are so powerful, man. They really are that powerful. Fight BitBoy. I'm completely down to fight BitBoy. We've actually asked him multiple times. He doesn't really seem to be interested. I think he has his own things going on right now as well. But if he's down to do it, I'm down to do it as well. I don't even hate the guy. I think he's hilariously entertaining. And there's nothing wrong with that. Whatever other issues that he has or that he's dealing with, I don't know the truth of that situation, and I don't really care, to be honest with you as well. It makes for some great content, though. I'll tell you that, man. When he was getting arrested going to that guy's house to get his Lambo or whatever the fuck it was, I mean, can you even write a better script? You can't. And that's why cryptocurrency is the best market sector to be watching, man, because it's so fucking it's so fucking entertaining, man. Exactly. He's our Alex Jones. Mark Douglas quote, being wrong, death of the ego. I don't know if that's a Mark Douglas quote, but I would imagine he probably had similar thoughts. I'm a humongous Mark Douglas fan, by the way, but I don't think I've actually heard him say that exact phrase. I'm bearish on Krown doing TA today. I'm still working on this caffeine, man. We're very, very close. We got 1,600 viewers in here as well, so we got to leave a little bit more time. Seems like seems like a lot of people are starting to stream in here. So you know what? Let's actually get into it. What I really want to be basing today's analysis off of is this specific indicator right here. This is the Mcclellan oscillator, and we're going to be looking at it pertaining to traditional markets. Now, the Mcclellan oscillator is essentially a summation index for all of traditional markets, like major indices. So it kind of gives you a general idea of like the total market. It's not just like SPY. It's all of the major indices combined together. And I'm specifically going to be focusing on August reads for this indicator throughout the history of SPS as I continue to fucking stutter, man. But more importantly, right here, we can see that this has actually printed what is an extreme down read, and we typically don't see these unless if it's a major low. And as we'll be going over in today's video, August is particularly an interesting time to be seeing an extreme low like this. Again, I want to remind you, if you were on this channel a year ago, like almost a year ago to the day, we did a very similar analysis pertaining to August in pre-election years and how lows in August, like almost always the lows was in August, and then new highs came from there. Sometimes you retested those lows and made slightly new lows. That's what did happen last August, but ultimately new highs were made. And it was a crazy call when I was saying it last year that new highs are going to be coming, like, probably around end of year, and it did indeed happen. Now, in this case, we do have yet again another extreme read in August. That happening yesterday, obviously, coming to about -80. So that is going to be the baseline that we're measuring this one from. And anytime that we've seen these extreme reads in August, or even just in general, I mean, it has typically produced, some pretty significant bounces. Obviously, the last year, when we did call this one out, that was on August 17, and that did produce a nice bounce. Yes, indeed, things did come lower than that afterwards, but new highs were made not so long after that. The time before that we saw August extreme reads did we see one right here? No, we did not see one. Wait, where's my... There it is. Okay, thank God. All right, I thought I deleted my chart or some shit. The time before that was actually 2019. 2019, again, extreme read right here. Boom, low was put in. Yes, it retests that low, completely fine. Even almost retesting it again in October, but new highs were made into 2020 before the next major crash, obviously. Then we had August 2017. Again, lows putting in right here. on extreme reads. Yes, it did come back down around those lows, but that would have been a phenomenal buy price-wise, timing-wise, maybe a little bit less so. But again, new highs being printed after that, not so long, not so long after that. Kind of fucking crazy. Same thing over here, August 2015. Again, extreme reads on this one. It did retest the lows in September, basically, almost to the T, and did make. Actually, this one did not make new highs from there, but did produce a very nice bounce before the 2016 slump, obviously. Time before that, this is July. Wait, no, we need August. Where's August? There it is. August 1st, actually making the lows right here. Big rally off those lows. Yes, things did come down later. But again, big rally off those lows. Same thing in August 2013. Big rally off these lows, making new all-time highs for, many months after that. Same thing over here. August 2011, extreme read to the downside. It does retest those lows. Yes, fine. But ultimately, straight up from there. Again, same fucking thing. Same thing over here. 2009, nice little dip to start off 2009 in mid-August, and then straight fucking up again for the next four to 5 months. Do we have more than that? No, we do not, because this indicator does cut off before 2007, unfortunately. But putting two and two together, it's like, have we seen the lows for this move? Maybe it does officially retest the April lows of this year, a little bit closer to 5,000. Not super far away from where price is right now. But ultimately, these are very likely big bounce and buy areas. We went over this on yesterday's video that traditional markets are very likely going to bounce very hard, and it's not wise to get super bearish, especially on Monday after a big kind of scary weekend, as panicking during these situations is almost never the right call, and at least waiting until Tuesday or even Wednesday is like a minimum for these sort of things. And I do believe that is the right call, and I think that's what we're seeing exactly right now. When we go over to NASDAQ futures, NASDAQ futures, if we put it on a weekly, tremendous bounce to open up, to close off Monday. And I do expect that this one will trade higher, maybe close to $19,000 before a real decision is made whether this actually does come further down or not. I think it's very, I think it's quite likely we'll see this bounce continue. Then maybe in September or early October, we see it come back down and retest these lows, but that should be the lows holding, and that should be up from there, especially after elections this year as well, because that is when the market has certainty, especially if a certain individual gets elected as well. It'll very likely be very bullish for the market. I remember when he first got elected in 2016, I watched the fucking stock market just go up and 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 more fucking up. And it was actually really crazy then too, because many people were actually discounting that certain individual as being bad for the markets, but it was quite literally the opposite. And it was, I remember it very vividly. It was straight fucking up. It was straight fucking up from the day that he was elected. It was absolutely incredible to watch, man. So, if that does repeat, I have to be saying the same thing here as well. And, this was a significant correction. Nearly 20% down from the high. Not bad. You typically don't get more than 20% drops without at least a major bounce, and typically a low in traditional markets. So, I do think that traditional markets have probably seen the low. Maybe you fish that low again. Could very well be. That's not a problem here, but probably going to be a major opportunity. I'll kind of leave it right there, and I'll tell you exactly what I'm doing with my traditional market stocks as well. I'm at least holding for now. If I do want to sell out, I do think we probably get closer to 19. But I'll take another look at it if and when that does happen. Anyways, moving on from there into Bitcoin. Let's go over, where's my HPDR setup right here. Bitcoin on the daily yesterday, we were looking at a bounce developing off of the 97.5 level right here on the daily HPDR. Of course, that bounce actually was quite significant, bringing it all the way back up almost to the 88 spot 3 level right here. Doesn't really do too much for me for Bitcoin. And Bitcoin did close below that last major low of about $56,000 or so, which was a major stipulation of the hash ribbon setup. So I'm having a little bit more difficulty coming up with some hopium for Bitcoin. I do think that Bitcoin could perhaps certainly retest the lows or perhaps make slightly new lows if traditional markets come back down and retest somewhere around, it's $17,000 base or so, specifically for NASDAQ. So it is a little bit more difficult for Bitcoin, I do believe, right here. The only obvious thing that I can see as of right now is that if Bitcoin did pop back up and close weeklies above $60,000, okay, fair enough. Bitcoin, the lows are in, and this was just one massive washout, which, I mean, it certainly was a massive washout. There was like $1 billion in liquidations, I think, something crazy like that, which we don't really typically see. We don't typically really see get like follow through from that region. The last time that I believe we saw some similar to this, and what I'm kind of leaning towards happening right now for Bitcoin is back here in the summer of 2021, where I'm sure a lot of people remember this as well. Bitcoin was consolidating for a couple months around the highs of $60,000 at the time, comes down in a pretty abrupt manner. I think this was about a 30% drop. Sorry, this was about a 55% drop off right there. So certainly we've not seen as big of a move here from top to bottom. It has been about a 34% drop down. Although we do expect moves to get percentage-wise less and less over time. And then Bitcoin did spend about 3 months kind of, consolidating on the lows and then trading upwards and onwards. And I think that is the hopium scenario for Bitcoin here, is that we see the rest of this month kind of slow around this region, and then September maybe test around those lows again, and then perhaps late October, closer to those elections, when things become a little bit more certain in terms of who's most likely to win, then perhaps we do see this market cycle continue. But for right now, it would be remiss of me to say not to say that this is concerning for Bitcoin here, and more weakness in traditional markets, or even just retesting the lows, probably doesn't bode too well for Bitcoin. Let's go over to stochastic momentum. I'm curious to see what this one's looking like as of right now. That 5-day setup did play out, in this case, obviously to the downside, and that is what it is here. But again, there's two things that could make me immediately more hopeful for Bitcoin. One of them is a weekly closure above $60,000. I think that one's quite obvious. And then the 5-day closing above this last major low here, which closes not tonight, but tomorrow night. If the 5-day closes above about 56,700, then perhaps I think that there might be some hopium for Bitcoin. Does not mean that Bitcoin can come back down to low 50s and retest these lows, but that would likely be an opportunity. And we'd expect things to get very slow here, tightening up that range between low 50s and basically $60,000 for the next month, maybe even month and a half. If Bitcoin does something like that, that would be very, very compelling to me to essentially suggest that this is, a low here, but that's just going to take time. And I think, again, the most obvious thing to be mindful of is, of course, traditional markets. And just one last thing here for Bitcoin. If you recall back to Sunday's video on the daily strategy, there's really no reason to be bullish for Bitcoin as long as it's below that 5 exponential, at least on the daily. And right now, that moving average is coming in around $58,000, meaning that there's no real threat of like a tremendously massive turnaround, like V-shaped recovery, as long as Bitcoin's below there. In fact, all major rallies obviously typically get sparked off by reclaiming that major moving average and then using it to trend above for whatever that move is going to be. That's at least what we've seen. So, that is still somewhat decently far away, and I mean, there should be an attempt here. I mean, this move to the downside for now, it should be over. I mean, I do think that we've seen the lows, at least for now. And the real question is how high do things bounce before this weekend? We're seeing extremes here on daily BBWP, levels that we haven't seen since basically March of this year, where Bitcoin was actually hitting a high. So that was indeed the high. This right here likely should be the low with extreme reads like this, and also with daily stochastic momentum, threatening a bit of a turn up here as well. Maybe it doesn't happen today, but probably tomorrow. This pivot is already at 55,850, so wouldn't take too much to actually get that to turn up. Like I said, maybe not today, but probably tomorrow, and then this bounce, should be underway. And that's really probably what I should be waiting for before I really make any major calls on Bitcoin. For right now, my major calls are on traditional markets. I do believe that we've seen the lows there. Again, might retest those lows. But that should be an opportunity. And what does that look like for Bitcoin if that does happen? I would have to imagine that Bitcoin probably retests around its lows as well. But that can take, a few weeks for that to really transpire. So, it's going to be a bit of a waiting game here. And that's really the analysis that I have for today. So nice one, man. Anyways, I see James RS. He says 2017 cycle was the most fun IMO. It was the most fun for me because that was like my first full cycle that I was actually in for, and just to see the absolute insanity of things at the peak in 2017. I mean, that's something that I just have not seen in really other markets, I don't think, to that degree. I mean, these altcoins, these ICOs were going up like thousands and thousands of percents. It was just fucking insane, man. It was just fucking, it really just was fucking insane. Anyways, I'll read some more of these comments as well. We'll get to the super chats here too. I just need to make sure that we have it ready in the background, and I can see that the stream is actually working really, really well. So it looks like those changes did work. So that's good. I'm really happy to see that. And I want to thank all of the almost 2,000 people watching right now. That's awesome, man. It's probably super fucking late in the US as of right now. And we will look at the first comment of the day from Incredible. He says, others slash Bitcoin. Is that a ticker? Let me see. It's not something that I'm aware of, but let's see. Others. Okay. I don't think that this is a thing. Okay. It is a thing. I don't know what this is measuring though. To be honest, maybe it's just everything else besides Bitcoin, or everything else versus Bitcoin. Again, this one to me is hanging on to the lows here. I would expect a rally from here, whatever the hell this thing is, others versus Bitcoin. So maybe that means altcoins are finding their own lows versus Bitcoin, and they should rally versus their Bitcoin pair. But I don't know the proper interpretation of this ticker. I'm just guessing that's what it means. But I would be bullish at least for a major bounce here for others, if you will. Looking at both the weekly and the monthly, yeah, this should be a major low area, and it should rally off of here. And it should rally at least, a decent amount before any sort of real decision is made. So yeah, let me actually get over to my momentum chart. These are typically a little more helpful for these conversations. Let me see what else we got going on over here as well. We have Sprocket. He says, thanks for the intro, sir. I'm more than happy to present it as well. Shaq with the combo says, could you check out Turbo on the weekly and praise Lizzo for lowering her grocery budget to $49,000 yesterday? Yes, indeed.
Why are you gay?
That's right, Lizzo. Why are you gay? Anyways, Turbo, what the hell is this thing? I'm guessing it's some sort of a shitcoin. Let's see what it's doing. Are shitcoins going to shitcoin hell or not? No, this one is actually looking pretty damn good. And the history tells us that is to be expected, because this one does make its higher highs and higher lows the whole way through. It's been around since 2023. It did pretty damn well during this bull market. So you have to respect that. In the bucket of more strong coins here. And to me, this is just a retest of the range lows. I would be looking for a rally off these lows. You're about to see stochastic momentum turn back up as well upon today's closure. Very, 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 very likely, unless it literally comes back down to the open. But ultimately, this one seems to be creating a massive trading range, in my opinion. And I guess I've already charted it out as well, but it just came back down to the low side of that range. I would look for it to continue to operate within this range, but continuing within this range is long-term bullish. It's just, it can take a long time. It can take a long time to do something like this, right? But the longer that it does take, the better that would imply the resolution is likely to be. So actually an example of one of the better shitcoins that we'll probably see today. I don't know what this thing is, don't know what the hell this thing does, but has a better chart than most shitcoins that we typically see on a stream like this. Snack says, hello, Krown. What's up, man? Desync. Okay. Desync or InSync? Is this like InSync on the blockchain? Derp network, whatever the fuck. On MEX, well, whatever. It's all gonna be the same thing, I'm guessing, but might as well see, I guess. Yeah, it's the same shit. You're looking at a 4-hour and a daily. Okay. Weird as hell looking chart to me. Definitely not in the conversation of the strong ones. Has only been around since May as well. Wouldn't say it's strong, wouldn't say it's necessarily on the weaker side of the equation as well. But, short term, do I think that has hit a bit of a... This one actually might have hit a bit of a range high on the 4-hour. If you're on a daily, though, I would kind of say the same thing as the last one. Overall, you're ranging here. Top side of the range was rejected. Bottom side of the range also rejected on yesterday's wick. In fact, I'd actually even have it right here. I'd be looking for it to oscillate within this range, and any sort of a break above or below is where your resolution is going to be, obviously. But not a whole hell of a lot of history to be going off of. Higher term timeframes don't necessarily make sense here. lower term timeframes, like a 4 hour, I do think that 4 hour, you might extend this rally towards 26 cents, but I wouldn't expect too much from this thing. I'd be expecting mostly sideways still. Not as interesting as some of the other shitcoins that were not the one other shitcoin that we've seen today. Ben Duman, I appreciate that, man. Welcome to the cave. Tron Jeremy says, how about this crypto school? I got an invite for this Thursday. Is that accurate? That's literally when you should be invited. No, the email is wrong. Actually, I really have nothing to do with any of the back end for the crypto school. So it's best to ask any questions towards their Discord and
because he didn't know, like he thought you didn't do it anymore.
What? No, we literally just did it last week or the last couple weeks. We have a whole new cohort right now. So yeah, man, you can definitely join it in. Anyone can join it in, really. Big Bull says, Moo the bull, please, sir. All right, Moo the derp. Let's see. Okay, Mech C maybe. I guess. I remember this one was actually one of the better ones that we looked at like a couple weeks ago, and I'd still say it's actually one of the better ones. In fact, this should be a major low right here that we did see yesterday. Basically kind of just retested the breakout region that you did have from, what was this, July? Yeah, mid-July. So ultimately, it's kind of a similar thing to the last couple ones. I would be looking for it to trade sideways here, but anything above whatever the hell this number is on that red line, is fine. I mean, that is just another higher low. So looking at this, I don't hate it, man. I don't hate it at all, actually. Short term, do I think that this rally extends maybe a little bit more? Could very easily test somewhere right around here, I suppose. But I don't think it's going to be breaking out to the upside just yet, but sideways and actually acting pretty damn well. So an example of a good shitcoin here. Again, I believe that this one is a meme coin, and those are just the ones to be watching this cycle. Again, it's like fundamentals. No, meme coins. No, sector. Sector is the answer. Drago says KNS versus Ethereum. This is Kenshi thingy, whatever the fuck. And what's this thing doing? Kent comes back down into range. I do believe that we certainly have charted this one before because I have a nice little circle right there. What is that circle chain to? The last higher low. Did retest that low? Yes. Is it going to hold there or not is a real question. No. Looking at the weekly, I think that this one continues to range here. So while it likely does bounce in the short term, wouldn't be surprised to see it come back down, closer to the middle of the range, maybe even the low side of the range. But again, another example here of something long term. It's fine. I mean, fine for now, I suppose. The longer that it holds within this overall range, the better, and would imply a bullish resolution. But short term, I don't think that this is going to do something like this. I think it's going to do some maybe continue on with that bounce, come down on any sort of weakness, and then continue on with the sideways. And maybe like after a month or two, then it tries perhaps an upside move, assuming that it does hold the bottom side of the range. But for now, don't think it's going to be doing necessarily the big move, if you will. Charles Ignite says, Giga, can I get your thoughts? Sure. I'm guessing this is a crypto as well, so I'm going to do this. Giga Chad. What the fuck? Oh my God. Not good. Not an example of a good shitcoin. Let's check out a different chart. Okay, yeah, even worse. Short term, does it try for a rally here? Sure. Could very easily try for a rally, an extension on this rally. Wouldn't be asking too much. You get it back up to even 1.5 cent, but don't like the way it's acted overall. Then again, if I'm going to provide a counterpoint, it doesn't really have much history. It's been around for literally less than a month. It's literally been around for less than a month, so it's usually not super wise to be doing any sort of real analysis on something like this. But if I had to call it, short-term rally continues a little bit more, but I would be looking for a high somewhere around this region here. Oops, let me get my little brush out, somewhere around here, and then pull back after that, and who knows? Not enough history really to be going off of anything right there. Patham says, hey, Krown, what's up, man? STX USD. Yes. Okay, so this is Stacks, I think, which is like a Bitcoin thing. It's a Bitcoin thing. This one very likely does continue on with the short-term rally. Don't know what time frames you're necessarily concerned with. I don't remember the last time I charted this one, but it looks like the chart is still working. The LARP lines here, I mean, getting the range lows, and I'd be looking for a rally off these range lows, basically. Again, as long as it holds, what is it, like 120, 121, it's okay, I guess. Longer term, not terrible here. Also not amazing as well, but definitely not the worst of the worst shitcoins. It did make new highs above its 2021 highs. So that's a good sign. So I'd give it the benefit of the doubt here actually with stacks. Give it a chance to rally off these lows. Might take a couple weeks, but sideways within this overall range is good. In the short term, very likely continues on with this rally. Very, very likely continues on with this rally. And looking at some of these shitcoins today, I will say, is also very, very helpful for me because it does help provide a more well-rounded analysis pertaining to Bitcoin as well, because we are seeing a lot of these shitcoins like actually holding these ranges in a way that you would not expect if this market truly was breaking down into like a recession, bear market, blah, 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 blah. Don't think that's happening here, or at least that is not the data that we have as of right now. You'd not be expecting, certainly not a bounce like this. Now, it's still a long week left to go, but this is pretty good for now. It's already eaten up the whole dump from yesterday. it's eaten up the whole dump from yesterday. It's almost exactly where it started off yesterday. So hard to hate that, man. I'd be looking for a rally off here and continue on sideways. Yeah, it's probably going to take some time, but an upside resolution is going to be the name of the game, assuming it just holds at 121. So give it a chance to rally. It's just going to take time, man. Let's see. Alexander Marks says, hey, Krown, what's up, man? Your thoughts on Trios, please. Okay, Trios. I remember this is like a prior cycle shitcoin as well. Let's check it out. It says it's new on TradingView, I guess, but I have something there from like years ago. Or sorry, not years ago, but many moons ago. We do see a training range going on right here, and I do think that it will, similar to the last couple ones, rally off the lows. I mean, it already is obviously rallying off the lows. Probably extends this rally a little bit more towards like $6.5 to maybe even $7, but not I was going to say not as strong as the others, but it just doesn't have the history. Yeah, it's only, again, been around for about a year here. I'd be looking for it to continue sideways within this range, and you can kind of give it the benefit of the doubt as long as it's doing that. Something like this, perhaps. Don't think it's going to be breaking out to the upside anytime soon. Also, don't think it's going to be breaking out to the downside anytime soon. I think you're looking at a range play yet again. Weekly, I mean, the weekly's green. Fucking crazy with some of these shitcoins. Again, I mean, this is not what you'd expect to see if this was like a true major market shift. So I do think that a lot of these bounces are going to continue. It's just going to take some time, especially on something like this. Anyways, moving on, we have Michael Longcard. What's up, Michael? He's looking at Brett 4 hour and daily. Okay, Brett. This is like one of the top shitcoins or top meme coin shitcoins as well. I'm gonna go with Gate.io here, I guess. Again, a pretty impressive. I mean, this one's fucking green on the week. It's above yesterday's high. It's even look. I'm not bearish on this. I'm just not bearish on this. It did retest the bottom side of the range. Sure, I do think that you're probably going to test the bottom side of your prior range somewhere around here, like I don't know, 11, maybe 12 and a half cents, something like that. But ultimately, I'm seeing a lot of things that I like here, at least for a continuation of this bounce. Maybe even reclaims this range low at 11.5 cents. Daily stochastic turning up above 8 cents, which it's healthily above right now, like almost 20%, which is kind of fucking crazy. Weekly, I think that these are lows, man. I think that a lot of these lows are in here. Look. Bounce very likely continues. If it actually does start to close above about 11.5 cents, then I guess, I mean, it's going to pop back up to this prior range, 15 cents or so. But again, give it some time. These look good for a lot of lows, especially the more recent ones that we've seen on the stream. Johnny John says SCF. Let's see what we got here. SCF. It was a 1-day bear market. No, this must be. Is this smoking chicken fish? Smoking chicken fish. All right. What sort of message do you want pinned? What sort of message do you want pinned? Super chats are priority. Spamming is not appreciated. That's right. Spamming is not appreciated. It's fucking annoying. It really pisses off like the actual people here who are not retardios and just want to have a nice conversation. So don't do it. Don't do it. Or as Elsa says, don't do-y. Don't do-y. Cameron, and you know what?
Doesn't that make you gay?
If you spam, I don't make the rules. Cameron Malpe says, PP USD. Also, why are you gay? I don't know, man. It's probably looking at these cryptos for too damn long is what I suspect. It's being around Elsa so often. PP, let's see. Again, I mean, already popping back up into the weekly range lows. Like, can't really hate that. LARP lines here still working. I'm going to continue on with the LARP lines, man. It might retest this area, might even wick below it again a few times, but that's not super concerning to me in the grand scheme of things, to be honest with you. Here's an example of a great shitcoin. Has been pretty much straight up since its inception. I don't hate that at all. Short term, does it continue the rally off of here? Maybe there might be a little bit of a short term pullback, but ultimately we're seeing the same sort of setup. Extremes on volatility plus momentum turning up. There should be at least a pity bounce here. And for a lot of these things, I mean, with them, still hanging on to the weekly range lows, it's like kind of have to be looking at that as a signal that it probably is going to be okay. At least that's what I'd be looking. I mean, that's how I interpret this right here. It can spend some time again fishing these lows, and I think that it will. I think that Bitcoin will test maybe somewhere around those lows again, but likely holds on. I mean, this is not terrible right here. Let's see. Jups says, "Hey man, thoughts on PayPal, please." Okay, real stock. Let's check it out. I haven't looked at PayPal in a while, but I imagine. It depends on what time frame you're looking at, so always including a time frame does massively help. Look, I don't like it, obviously. If I had to call it here, I do think that this one continues to kind of range on the lows. Don't think that you're going to be breaking out above this range anytime soon. Maybe at all. I don't know what time frame you're necessarily on, so this might not be super applicable to you. But if I had to call it, I think this one continues to range on the lows. Something like this, an example of essentially a weak shitcoin. And maybe it tries for a rally, I don't know, later on in 2025. But for now, I think it spends a lot of time on these lows. It's going to spend a lot of time on these lows, kind of consolidating and shaking everything out. And, maybe after that it tries for a rally. But I don't think that there's anything super interesting going on here, to be honest with you. Perhaps I can go over to this chart. Let's actually just see if there's anything super obvious here. Yeah, if anything, I actually think that it's probably going to retest somewhere in like the low 50s. I would actually be looking for this one to perhaps come back down in the next month, but not super confident on it. It's not super interesting. Any rally should be very short-lived on this one, however. But this is a monthly time frame, to be fair. Anyways, moving on, we have Charles Ignite. He says, wrong chart, Krown. On Dex Tools, I'm not going to fucking Dex Tools, okay? Like emotional intelligence.
Why are you gay?
No fucking Dex Tools bullshit. Jesus fucking Christ, man. He did include the ticker. Sorry, man, but I have to make an example out of someone, and you're just the one today. It's nothing personal, but not going out of fucking bullshit Dex Tools bullshit, whatever the fuck it is. I don't even know what the hell that is. Don't want to get onto it. If it's on Dex Tools, probably not a good sign. I mean, even TradingView hosts like some of the most shittiest of shit things. Like, how is it not on TradingView? That's the real question. Sir, let's do everyone's favorite coin, Caspa, and see if it's going to shitcoin hell. Caspa. Most of these shitcoins are not going to shitcoin hell, is what we've seen today. Phenomenal recovery right there. Wow. Proving itself as one of the strongest of the strong when it comes to shitcoins, especially. I mean, it is in for a corrective month, certainly, but that is just a fucking crazy. That is a fucking crazy bounce. Let me just see how much this is on a percentage basis. 36%. Oh my God, man. I understand why people love the shitcoins. These things can fucking move. That is crazy. I do think that the bounce will continue, but I actually would be a little bit skeptical. Maybe not skeptical is the right word, but I'd want to see this one specifically close back above 18.5 cents before I'd be like, hey, this one is like ready to actually continue on with this rally to new highs. It looks really crazy right here, to be honest, but above 18.5 cents is where I'd say that gets confirmed. For right now, it's like this thing how much did this thing come down? It's a real question. It went from 20 cents to 12. Oh my God, nearly a 50% move, or sorry, 40% move. really impressive. The thing that's kind of setting me off right here is the monthly. The monthly, actually, I do not like as of the current, but it's a long month to go, obviously. Look, above 18.5 cents, I'd say that's pretty damn good for now. Continue the bounce to like 18 cents, probably minimum. And then the real question is, does it actually continue from there or not? Where would it be in trouble? Where would I say, hey, this thing is done for like a long time below 14 cents on a daily closure? But for now, I mean, that's a hell of a weekly. That is a hell of a weekly with 5 days left to go. And I do think that a lot of these things are going to continue to bounce here. Let's actually go to Bitcoin. Is Bitcoin likely to continue the bounce in the short term? Probably in the next couple of days. I do think that you probably get at least a reconnect with the 5 exponential. Usually you don't stay away from that for too long. In fact, anything more than like 1 day away from a reconnect on that is uncharacteristic. So, you know, that's currently at $58,000. So do we see $58,000 sometime between today and probably Wednesday? Probably yes. So you have to imagine that most of these shitcoins continue to bounce as well alongside that. And something like CAS that we just said, that we just saw. I mean, that thing's it's bouncing so fucking hard. You have to wonder where it's going to be if you see a Bitcoin move to like 58. So yeah, man, I kind of have to be. I mean, I would say 18.5 cents, man. If you see it reclaim that, especially like Wednesday closure, that's going to be a really fucking powerful signal. Let's see. Okay, Lappy Snape says, "Hey, Krown, would appreciate for Cardano analysis, please." Oh God. All right, don't hate me though. Let's see what it's looking like first. Maybe I eat my words here, but I'm assuming probably not great. Yeah, definitely not in the conversation of like some of the stronger shitcoins that we've seen today. Still a pretty damn good bounce. I'm curious how much it is on a percentage basis. Okay, 15%. Still hanging on to these range lows. Just it's not. Again, it's not in like the strong conversation here. I guess I already had this one charted out, and that's. I mean, it's basically the same thing. You know, I think that you could very easily see this rally continue up to even like 36, 37 cents, come back down, continue to hold on to these lows, and then maybe try, an upside move a little bit later. But again, long term, just not super interesting here. Another one that's failed to get anywhere near its prior cycle high. Just not a good sign long term. Monthly, long time left to go, obviously. But where is like your obvious risk area? Well, your obvious risk area is basically yesterday's closure. Yeah, yesterday's closure. I would, however, only use a weekly for this one, just because that is what seems to be holding up here. But you got to give things the benefit of the doubt, at least for short-term bounces. Even if you're super bearish, like it's more likely to bounce here alongside traditional markets and obviously Bitcoin as well. Anyways, Nike Bison says Ethereum, Bitcoin, weekly, monthly. Okay, nice high-term timeframes. Let's see what this one's looking like. We haven't looked at this one in what feels like a long time. Again, it's clinging on to dear life for that range low. The weekly still have 5 days left to go here. I don't know when I charted this thing last, but here's the thing, man. You will naturally be building up some bullish divergence on your weekly RSI if this thing does basically hold on to the lows. So, you're probably in for a bounce. It does look like most things are actually going to hold on here. Yeah, it looks like most things are going to hold on here. I mean, then again, this one is being plotted versus Bitcoin, so I don't necessarily know exactly what that's going to look like. But let's see what it looks like on this chart. Is there anything more obvious, perhaps? Quarterly looks pretty ugly, but still a long way left to go on that one. Monthly. I can't really be bearish bearish is the wrong term. It's like it has been bearish, obviously, but I can't be looking for like a further breakdown as long as you're above basically your May lows, especially on like a weekly and monthly closing basis. So that's what I'd be cognizant of right now. Daily looks like it's in for a bounce here. You're seeing bullish divergence emerge on the daily stochastic, and could very easily bounce back up somewhere into this region here. Wouldn't take too much, so I'd give it a chance first. And again, weeklies above your May lows, like that's not. You just can't be looking for a further breakdown. So yeah. Anyways, moving on, we have Michael Longcar. He's looking at CAS. Actually, we just looked at that one, but we did not look at a 4-hour time frame. So let's look at a 4-hour time frame. Curious to see what the very low term time frames look like, and again, just really powerful bounce here. I do think that the bounce extends a little bit more in the short term, 17.5 to 18 cents. And that's kind of like your next short-term decision point. But daily, we already went over that. Weekly, we already went over that. And holy shit. Okay, this chart was actually the one that I've charted this one on before. Hit this level just about perfectly. Wow. You know what? I had this marked off. When did we put this one in? We put this one in. This was in June. Yeah. And just getting hit on that area now. Now that okay, so I did this analysis about 2 months ago. I have to go with my prior analysis. I think the lows are in on this one, or at least it's gonna try again. But yeah, very impressive, very very impressive for CAS right there. One of the best bounces that we've seen today. Oh, you're looking at FET now. Okay, 4-hour and daily. Okay, FET AI. All right, let's check out this one. This one not having the best of bounces. This would be an example of something a little bit more on the weaker side. Has made new highs above its 2021 highs, but not proven itself here in this current cycle. So not a great signal. Well, I do think that this one can bounce more. Could very easily bounce towards $1. This one's got lower highs the whole way through, so I'd have to continue on with that. Did break these prior range lows. So in this case, the LARP lines are not going to be playing out here. Bounces likely lead towards new lower highs. And this is what I'd be expecting a lot of the weaker shitcoins to do. You know, might even bounce above $1, but that still is another lower high. And then continues lower on any sort of downside move for Bitcoin or just the markets in general. 4-hour time frame likely continues on with this bounce. Many drives of bullish divergence come off this low, and I do expect that it could very easily hit 95 cents to $1. Like not a humongous issue right there. But again, this one's got lower highs the whole way through, so have to respect the trend here. Okay, we have Banana Man. He says, Ondo, daily, weekly. Got it, man. Thank you for including, time frames as well. I just derped my keyboard there. Ondo. Okay. Let's see. Oh, I need to make sure my phone is on here too. I have deliveries coming today. It's very important. Just one momento here. Un momento. All right, there we go. Okay, shut up, phone. Okay, God, for the love of God, that is just an annoying as fuck sound. Okay, beautiful. All right, there we go. Let's see. Ondo, daily, weekly. Let's go to the proper timeframes perhaps first. Yeah, an example of a great bounce here, but also got hammered much more nastily than what we've seen before. LARP line's not going to be working on this one. Tells me it's a little bit on the weaker side in the grand scheme of things. Did come back down to these lows. Yes. Okay. Bouncing off those lows. Again, very impressive bounce here. Green on the week as well. Like up 50%. Jesus fucking Christ. I do think that this bounce will continue. I think you at least see 80 cents, maybe even all the way up to 90 cents. So that 50% bounce gets even stronger. Not bad. I think the hopium here is that you just create a new range and you continue to hold that range. Something like this, and you're kind of in the middle of that range right now. Perhaps something like this comes back up, boom, sideways, 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 and then maybe tries again to the upside later on this year, perhaps. But that's probably going to be more or less a function of Bitcoin strength. So, while I do think short term the rally continues, I don't think it's going to be anything like this. I think at best you kind of go sideways for a while and kind of play that out. And maybe this one does, dip back down towards 60 cents on any sort of Bitcoin weakness. But I do think that this one will at least hold that region. And those probably are opportunities here. If there is going to be any sort of actual upside, it's going to take some time. So I'd be more expected of a continuing of this range, basically. Anyways, we have Man's Not Lost, says Krown. I've been watching since late 2018. Holy shit, man, you are an OG of OGs, and you've never commented before because I don't recognize your name, and I recognize everyone's fucking name who is here, even in like the first couple of years, honestly. I am now financially free from needing to work. Fuck yeah, dude. That's awesome, man. Thanks for your constant wisdom through the years. I mean, I'm just making videos on YouTube, man. I appreciate that, but at the end of the day, man, it sounds like you fucking did it. You did the work. And now you're reaping the rewards, and that's what it's all about, man. So as always, you should give yourself some damn credit for that. If you've been watching me long enough, you probably already know I'm going to say something like that as well. But that's awesome, man. Financial freedom is is a beautiful thing. It's like a humongous weight being lifted off your shoulders. So congratulations, man. You know, sincere congratulations to you, man. Man's not lost. That's awesome, man. Andres Anarbia says Harambe on Solana. Okay, let's see what this is. Harambe. It's an excision song. I think it's a fucking gorilla, sir. It's some gorilla that got himself shot or some shit like that. I don't know. Definitely not in the list of strong things here. Do I think that it will rally off these lows? Yeah, very likely. Yes. Could it come back down to like 1.5 cent after a rally? Sure, as well. You know, perhaps something like this. But should hold those lows at least for a while. In the short term, does this one continue on with its rally? Very likely, yes. I do think it could very easily hit 2 cents from here, maybe even 2.25. So I give the short term rally a chance. It's just long term. I don't think you're going to be doing anything like super interesting. I think at best you probably range in some like this area for a while, and that could very easily include another retest of like 1.5 cent after this rally. So just be cognizant of that. But for now, short term rally very likely continues. Anyways, we have cheesy poofs. I have lactose intolerance, man. JTO. Okay, I don't think I'm familiar with this one. JTO. Okay, it is a crypto. It's Jito. Just need to make sure that I'm on time here as well. Okay, we still got a little bit of time, so that's good. Okay. So what are we looking at here, sir? No time frames given, so I'm just gonna roll with it. In the grand scheme of things, not super interesting, not super terrible as well. Just kind of par for the course, I guess. Hasn't been around for super long. Range. Okay, this one, there's actually something very interesting about this one. The very interesting thing about this one is that it did not even make new lows on yesterday's dump. It didn't even make new lows below its July lows. In fact, not even close. Whereas like most things were dumping, you know, multiple double-digit percentage from those lows. This thing did not. So that's actually a really good sign. Some relative strength. Short term, you know, is the rally done here short term? I mean, maybe it spikes to like $2.5 first, but I'd be expecting some sideways there. And just a very interesting thing here that we have not seen this thing. We did not see this thing make new lows. So that is actually a really good sign. I think you could very easily get something like this, you know, in the coming month. Just again, some more sideways here. But just the fact that this thing did not even make new lows, didn't even retest the wick lows. It's a good sign long term, I guess. Maybe just no one trades this thing. They just don't know about it. But, I'd be looking for something like this. Could very easily come back down and test around $2, but should hold those lows, I suspect. And then maybe later on in this year, like October, it actually will try a move above 333, and that's where your real breakout is. But for now, just give it a chance to kind of shake itself out sideways, I suspect. Need that quality H2O here. Michael Longcar says, last one for me, Solana, 4-hour and daily. Okay. Sol, 4-hour and daily. Let's check it out on the crypto. Again, another like really good response here. Continues to hold these range lows. Yes, it did wick significantly below them, but that's okay. So it's all about where the closures are at the end of the day, and just a really fucking strong response here. How big of a move percentage-wise? 30%. Holy shit, fuck. That is crazy. Have to be saying the same thing as most of the other ones as well. 4-hour time frame, maybe it spikes up to like 145, 146 before it plays out a little bit of a short-term correction. But, again, very similar thing here on the higher term timeframes to most of the things that we've looked at today. Could do something like this, continue on sideways, and then try a move to the upside, I would suspect in October. But holding the range sideways here is okay. Like that's not bad. That's not bad at all for something like this. Looking at weekly, yeah, same shit, man. Same shit. Monthly, a little bit less hot on the monthly, I would say. Let's actually see what it looks like over here. I'm just curious. What does it look like? If it can close a month above like 148.5, especially 150, I'm not bearish on it. Below there, okay, maybe. But above 150 on the monthly, I'd say, hey, that's fine, man. That's fine. Let's see. Mythic OG says ALPH, Alphium, hourly in 1 week. Also, you skipped SCF on Solana. Nope, we did look at that one earlier. SCF. Was it? What? Smoking chicken fish. Oh, did I forget to actually look at it? Sorry, apologies on that, man. That is my bad. Weird chart, but it's been around for a whole 2 weeks. Wow. Again, short term, can it continue on with the rally towards 10 cents? Maybe yes. It's hard to do any real analysis on something that's this new. Yeah, I don't really have strong opinions on this, man. Let's try ALPH. All right, let's check it out. Again, another one with a pretty significant rally here. Do you think it could very easily hit about 160 to 165 in the short-term rally? Something like that. Long-term, another one that did not make new lows. It did not make new lows below its July lows. I'm inclined to say this one continues on with the weekly range. Sorry, let's actually make this appropriate for the weekly here. Something like this, with a very strong bounce here. Very, very strong bounce. But again, like most of the other ones, I do think you're going to be going sideways for a little bit of time, just filling out this range. Short-term moves to the upside probably are followed by medium-term moves back down, maybe retesting somewhere around 130-ish region for this one, or 125. But holding in the overall range is completely fine. As far as I'm concerned, at least long-term, and monthly back above 168. I would say that's bullish. Yeah, that's all I have to say about that, man. Just another really, really interesting one where you do not make new lows, or did not make new lows. That's a sign of strength, a very big sign of strength. Giles DeBoche says, cheers, sir. Cheers indeed. Fira Bend HD says, Palais. Oh my God, man. None of this shit. I'm going to go with GPU here, okay, sir? Just one at a time as well, because, well, we have a lot of people and my voice only has so much stamina. Again, another really phenomenal bounce here. 60% bounce. More than 60% bounce. That's... I'm a little bit... This one should have more history, right? I feel like this one's been around for longer. Is this the right chart? Is that the right chart? Who knows what the right chart is? Maybe MEXC. Okay, we were just on MEXC. What about CoinX? Okay, MEXC and CoinX are the same, so I'm going to be going with these ones. Powerful, very, very powerful bounces. In the short term, okay, literally no time frames given as usual. In the short term, can it continue the rally towards a buck? Maybe $1.05, sure. Not a whole lot of history here. It's been around for, again, less than a couple months. So higher term timeframes are not super helpful in this one, but it's really hard for me on these ones that just do not have these, the history. If you're on the lower term timeframes, yeah, I'd say continue on with this rally and kind of have to be treating this as your next major low. I'm getting a lot of signals for continuation here overall. Could this one even trade up to 120? Sure. What does a weekly look like? Weird as fuck. Yeah, it's very difficult to get these newer ones on higher term time frames. Just not enough time to actually populate itself. Best I can do is 4 hour here. Probably continues on with the rally and then pulls back after it hits around a little bit above a buck. Let's see. GS says, hey, Krown, just jumped on. What's up, man? Have we been able to factor in the Iran situation going forward? As you always know, we do not give a fuck about what's going on in the geopolitical sphere on this channel because we have absolutely zero control over such things, and it is impossible to make any objective analysis over subjective events. Look, if you really wanted my opinion on that, which you should not want because I'm not a geopolitical expert, nor do I really, nor does that even correlate to being able to accurately look at markets, but from my point of view, the Iran situation, it will not turn into World War III. There is no way that Iran is going to war over what's going on there. They just need to save face and then move on. And while everyone goes crazy over Twitter and be like, oh my God, it's this again, it's that again, it's probably not happening. It's very little to be gained. Very little to be gained. and a lot to lose if they escalate. Will they retaliate? Sure. It'll be like very likely before, where they retaliate and then Israel retaliates and both sides say no real damage was done, and so we can both save face and off ramp here. Both sides know this. And also, I think there's like a bunch of U.S. carriers now around the Gulf, so I don't think they want to fuck with that either. The U.S. does one thing and one thing very, very well, and that is military. They will fuck their day up. Alex says Spectre versus Ethereum. Okay. Spectre. No. Yes. Yes. That's it. Spectre. Again, another one here with this one even has hidden bullish divergence going on. That's crazy. It did not make new lows again. Very strong sign. I mean, this one is against Ethereum, so it's not a kind of a super fair comparison, but should move up here. Should move up here back around. Let me get my damn brush out. Somewhere around these levels right here. Whatever the hell those numbers are. Correlating to butyrols. Yeah. Overall good. I mean, versus Ethereum, I don't know what that looks like versus the dollar, but overall fine. I know it's bad, but a 4-hour and daily for super for our boy Elio. Everyone calls him Elio. His name's Elliot. His name's Elliot. It's like a secret now. Super. Let me see. I actually have it on my list. What is super doing? It's doing super bad, but it did come down to the 382 level here. I had this one charted out for a while because someone always asks about it on stream, which is cool. Did bounce pretty significantly off the 382 level as well, but not acting like one of the strong ones. Did not make new highs above its 2021 highs. Hard one to love here, to be honest, man. I don't like what it's doing there, to be honest, man. I guess the hopium here is that, okay, well, you hit this level right here. That's where the last breakout really got crazy, and it's going to continue sideways and then try a rally back above 60 cents. If it can actually start to close weeklies back above 60 cents, I would say, hey, you're probably in for some sideways and up, but not acting as one of the strong. I'll say that. I'll always give you my exact opinion on things, regardless of whether I'm right or wrong, and regardless of whether it's one of my friends' shitcoins or not. But do I think it rallies from here? Yes. Do I think it can test 50 cents? Sure. Do I think it's one of the strong right now? No. It did make significantly new lows below its July lows, and the strong ones have not. So I think best case scenario here is you continue on with that rally a little bit more, trade sideways, and then in October or maybe late September, hopefully reclaims around 60 cents. If you can see something like that, there perhaps is some hopium on the other side, but until then, the trend is your friend. Right now, the trend is down on all higher term timeframes, and if anything, I mean, as of right now, it is continuation. So I do think it will hold on because most things are holding on right now. But when it bounces, is it going to bounce pound for pound as well as other things? I mean, obviously not. I mean, most, like the strong ones have had like 50% plus bounces. This one's had a 20% bounce, which is good, yes, but compared to other things, not as good. So not getting as much love. Anyways, more water from me as I hopefully wetten the pipes. What's funny about that, also? What do you want to give me a big hand? Anthony Gregg says near 4-hour and daily. All right. Yes, 4-hour and daily. Okay, daily. Yeah, not a fan of this one. Not a fan. Do I think that it will continue to bounce here? Probably yes. At some point, you probably see a move towards like $4.50. But that can take some time. Short term, can it trade back up towards like $4? Sure. Yeah. Okay. How short term? I mean, now I'm on a 4-hour and it's like bounce is already kind of struggling a little bit, but I do expect it would continue a little bit from here and at least test $4. I don't know, sometime in the next week or so. From there, hard one to love long term. I mean, this one kind of similar to super in that, what it kind of looks like long term is going to do something like this, where you come down here, you put in a monthly higher low, hopefully above like 160, and then try like another move to the upside. That's what a lot of that's what some of the weaker ones look like to me. But I guess if you want to play the hopium game, if the weekly closed above $4, you can kind of hold on to your hopium still. But I do think that that's a lot less likely here. Whoops. I want to get my thingies up. There we go. Yeah. Yeah. Not a humongous fan of it on the higher term timeframes. A lot of these, breaking below like monthly major regions. But let's see how it does on the bounce. If it can actually close the weekly back above $4, hopium remains alive for at least some sideways, and you can expect something like a range like this between about $4 to the downside, and in the short term like $6 to the upside, something like that. If it can do that, I mean, then you can play this, hopefully the sideways game, but looking less likely for some like this, in my opinion. Anyways, Jay Boogie says, K Vet here. I know, sir, because I know that name. We'll be here until World War IV. Fuck, man. What age will we be during World War IV is the real question. Thoughts on NPC versus Ethereum? Okay, let's check it out. Non-playable coin. All right. Did you DYO this coin? I did not. I did not, man. But like the other Ethereum pair that we see, we actually see hidden bullish divergence populating here. I think that this one pops back up. Could very easily pop back up somewhere around that red line right there. Long term, the trend is your friend, and the trend is straight up. And I'm always going to like that. Do I think it's ready to like break out from here? Well, actually, I mean, if anything, possible, I guess. I'm curious, how big was this bounce? Again, another thing that did not make new lows. 50% bounce. Holy shit, fuck. That is really wild. I think that you've seen the lows here, and this thing continues sideways and up, honestly. Yeah, I'm not going to hate it. It's not that I don't hate a chart like this. I like charts like this. So yeah, good. Just want to see this week that if this weekly closes out anywhere above 68, whatever the hell number that is, butyrols, which right now it's at 69.72. I like it. Crazy shit though. these shit coins are so fucking crazy, man. Let's go to the 12 hour as you asked for as well. Yeah, short term, I do think that it does trade closer to this red line right here, and this is really starting to look like the next major higher low in a series of higher lows since its inception. So I'm always gonna like that. All right, we have Jacob Didios is here, or Virgil Didios. Sorry, sir. BitF stocks. This is Bitfarms, Bitcoin miner, I believe. See how it's doing, and as you would expect, it did take a nice tumble yesterday, but again, not making new lows below its May lows, and closing the day up at a tremendous recovery, actually. Percentage-wise, 25%, which is fucking crazy for something that trades on traditional markets. I do think that it will fill this gap here somewhere around 220. What happens from there? Probably a bit of a pullback, but I would expect this one to range after that, and range is fine on this one. Here's the upside of your range versus the downside of your range. Sideways within this range is going to be long-term good. It's just, it could take a long time for that to transpire. Really only bearish if it trades back down below those May lows, and it literally didn't even trade below those lows. So I'd give it a chance to hang on sideways here. It's just going to take some time, I suspect. Let's see what a quarterly looks like, just out of curiosity. Same shit, basically. Weekly, yeah, we just looked at that. Daily, yeah, same thing. I'd be looking for this one to open today up somewhere around 220 to 2.25 or so. I don't know, maybe pull back from there, but you're looking at sideways for a while again. But a good sign, it did not trade below its May lows. Like, very good sign there. Anyways, Ross Fung says 11. So at 10:30, I got to go. Anyways, Ross Fung says ton versus USD. This is Telegram's thing. Is this Telegram's thing? Let's see what it looks like. Telegram seems actually really, really cool. I'm trying to get Elsa onto it, but she won't do it. Anyways, okay, so this one, not as strong as some of the other ones that we've seen today. Do not like this rounded top here. Well, I do think it will rally. not a humongous fan of that, but you know, we have seen a lot of things like this today, and long term it has been an uptrend. So I do like that, and it has been since 2021, made new highs above its 2021 highs. So actually with taking that context into mind, well, I do think short term it probably continues to rally towards like 580, and you see that hit maybe in the next day or two. I would be looking at sideways within this range is good long term. It's just, again, it probably takes some time. So could be something like this, blah, 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 blah. Still looking maybe somewhere around October, if I had to guess, for most of these things, if they really are going to try like an actual upside move. But I do think the downside is very likely over for this one. You know, could retest those lows, you know, a little bit below $5. That's fine. Just as long as it doesn't take out those May lows. Again, another thing that did not even trade below its May lows. These are good signs. These are good signs. At least this one is strong. Now, of course, if the rest of the market dumps, is this thing going to dump alongside of it? Yeah, fuck yeah. But yeah, a signal of strength there, and that's kind of where I'll leave this one. You did ask for a 4 hour. Did we do a 4 hour? Yeah, short term probably continues on with the rally a little bit more. Like I said, 580, give or take a day or two, something like that. And then maybe it comes back down somewhere around today's low. And then from there, you probably rally and try like an actual rally. And maybe that rally could even hit somewhere around $7. So yeah, but still sideways is the name of the game overall. Kevin Franco says, Krown, can you do mini? I can do it, but without any timeframes. I don't know how relevant this is going to be to you. Fucking weird, man. Super weird chart, because it apparently doesn't trade too much. And when it does trade, it goes down. It goes fucking down. It's very, very bad. And
Why
we have to
are
ask
you
the question. Yes, exactly, sir. Exactly. Not good, man. Not good. Terrible. 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 Maybe the worst one we've seen today, actually. Mini bad. Mini bad. Yeah, not great, man. Any bounces here lead towards likely new lower highs. So even if this one were to bounce, it could bounce even like a 2x move towards $1.50, and it would still be long-term bearish. I mean, that's the problem with shit like this. It just goes down. It's been around since 2020. It only goes down. Why would you ever expect it to turn around as of this moment? It had some of the most bullish environments in 2021 and 2023 and 2024. Can't do shit. Very, very bad. Very fucking bad. Any sort of bounces here, just be looking for more continuation to the downside long-term. Terrible. The worst chart of the day award, sir. The police have been called. Tobo says, Tesla weekly, please. All right, let's check it out. What's Tesla doing? Is it still ranging? It is still ranging. Crazy. Holy shit, fuck. Look at the LARP lines. The LARP lines are on this one. Let me see what it looks like on this one, however. I think this is the most updated LARP lines, perhaps. Really weird here, actually, for me, long term, because yesterday's move actually should be a major low. Very strange. Yeah. I wasn't expecting to see that, honestly, but I am.
I think your camera's dead.
Is my camera dead? My camera's dead. Holy shit. You can't see me, but you can hear me. All right, we'll go just chart view here. My apologies on that, but looks like the batteries run out. But that's okay. We can continue on. I'm a faceless menace right now. Overall, Tesla. Look, I don't hate it here, honestly. I think that this could actually be a major low. I want to see it again from this angle. See what the weekly looks like. Yeah, I think the LARP lines might be right here. It might come a little bit lower towards 170, but I think it's putting in a low here, man. I think it's putting in a low here. It should kind of shake itself out sideways. Yeah, overall, very good, very good rally yesterday, actually. I probably would be looking for this one to continue up in open and have like an up open today, maybe above like 200, like 210 or so, somewhere around there. In the short term, I don't know if that's relevant or it's not relevant to you. You're on a daily and weekly. I think it's put in a low here, man. I'd only be bearish if it literally ticks below yesterday's low at 182. Sure. At that point, I guess it'd be bearish for a move back down to like 160, but I don't think that's what's happening here. I think this one's putting in a low right here, based off the higher term timeframes. Let's see. Could you check out Cat Dog 4-hour and dailies for Krister and Forland? Sure. Cat Dog. I'm just going to type it into TradingView here and just hope for the best. And something did pop up, so that's good, I guess. that's fine. Let's see. Okay, so it's been around for literally 3 weeks. It has gone straight up during those 3 weeks, and it literally has new all-time highs as of today. Great. I would continue to look for new all-time highs. In fact, I'm going to write this one down. What the fuck is this Cat Dog shit? Where do you find this thing? Where do you even find this shit? Is this even the right one? Because this actually looks like too good, honestly. Cat Dog. It's like both memes. Oh my God, they're genius. It's Cat Dog. It's both memes in one. That's amazing. Oh my God, that is truly ingenious. It's like, guys, how can we get the best, the best meme potential? Well, do something like this. Now, who knows what the fuck this thing is? I don't know. But, and there's Cat Boy. Cat Boy. I'm Cat Boy and you are Monkey Girl. Yopi says Gigasol daily. Oh God, is this going to be another like Dex Tools bullshit? Not on wait, no. I stand corrected. It is on TradingView. Okay, generally goes up. So first good sign. It is plotted versus Solana, so a little bit of a different thing there. But I do think that this rally will continue towards about 1.5 cent. Yeah, 1.5 cent. Yeah, should be a major low right here. Let's see how high can you get? Yeah, like 1.5 to 1.4. Should try at least around there, and maybe a short-term pullback there. But ultimately, long-term can't hate a chart like this, I guess, for as long-term as you have it. It's been around since March. Where would I be bullish on it for making new highs? If you start to close back above like 180 would look okay. How big of a move is this, by the way? Oh my God, it's literally more than a 2x off the lows from yesterday. Jesus Christ. That is truly incredible. Truly incredible. Give it a chance to continue on with the rally a little bit more short term. Let's see. Ethereum for Bexon. Okay, I do have Ethereum on my list. Let's check it out. Is this the right one? Yes, index. Okay, good. Yeah, not on the strong side of the equation for this market overall. I mean, I guess the hopium is you're doing something like this, right? And I hate my diagonal lines just in general, but we do have one here, to be fair. If I extend this one out, I had this one in there for a while, and it did get hit yesterday. Let me just remove this. It's not relevant towards what we're talking about. To get hit yesterday. I don't like what it's doing there. I guess if you're playing the weekly game, just need to see it close above 2,800, but it doesn't look like that likely to me right now. But then again, it doesn't really matter what I think is likely or not. It just matters where it closes. So let's go to a daily. Daily should continue on with the bounce into the end of the week. I would expect probably hitting at least like 2,600, but not in the strong side of the equation for what we've seen today. I think best case scenario is you kind of hang on to these lows sideways between like 2,800 and 2,400 for like a month, and then maybe try an upside move from there. But not the most interesting chart that we've seen today, certainly. Let's see. I'm looking for something obvious here. I do think that you will test somewhere around 26 or 2,700 in the coming like day or two. However, so short term, I should try a little bit of this, but getting hit a lot harder than most things we've seen today. We've actually seen a tremendous amount of shitcoins that are much more strong than this, actually. Noel says, Krown, baby, please tell me I'm going to be rich by the end of the year. You will be rich by the end of the year if you started off as extremely rich. No. Look, I don't fucking know, man. I don't know what your investments are, but you know what? You're going to be rich in experience. That's what I can say for sure. You're going to be rich in experience. In fact, if you've been in this market for this long, you already are rich in experience, sir. Arwin has a nice super chat, but no comment. So I just, oh no, I see the comment. Okay. H bar weekly. Gotcha. Okay, H bar. Hadoop hash graph. Oh, man. You had a very nice message, so I apologize in advance, but...
Why are you gay?
Bad. Fucking bad, man. Really bad. Look, okay, so is this thing going to hang on to the lows here? Like your monthly range lows? Sure. Is it strong? Fuck no. Is it... I mean, at best, sideways for a while, maybe something like this. And then maybe it tries an upside move like in a long time from now. I don't think that this is like one of the least interesting charts that we've seen today. Again, a prior cycle shitcoin. I think that you can rally from here, certainly. Okay, you're looking at a weekly and month. Okay, monthly, not great. Weekly, I do think that you will rally off this region, as will the monthly as well. And it could very easily... could very easily test back up towards like 6.5, maybe even 7.5 cents. And I think best case scenario from there is just continue on sideways, something like this, following the LARP lines, but not strong compared to many of the things that we've seen today. I think at best, this is like best case scenario here. Don't like what it's done in the past few years. Overall, I think there's better opportunity cost elsewhere. But to answer the question, yes, I do think that it will rally, and you'll probably see somewhere around like 7 cents, and then sideways after that for a while. I mean, it's just not interesting compared to most things that we've seen today, to be honest with you. Maybe we could go check it out. I'm looking for some hopium for you, man. I mean, I do think that it will rally short term ish, like on your weekly and monthly, but. Yeah, I mean, it's going to rally off these lows. Yes, just it's not as strong as the other things. So, actually, I kind of take back what I said earlier. I do think that you could rally even over the next few weeks, maybe to like 8 cents. It's just sideways is the name of the game here for like the long term. I don't think you're certainly not breaking out above your 15 cent region anytime soon. And I actually don't think that this one will break down to new lows anytime soon as well. I think you're going to do something like this. Continue bounce, boom, sideways, 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 decision point. After that, it's going to take a while. But more or less, this one looks very irrelevant to me. Anyways, Nico Senpai says, Ondo, thoughts? I think we looked at this one, but let me check again. Sorry if you mentioned it before. It's no issue to me, man. It's it'd be more so for you. Just don't want to waste your time or money. Looking at the daily right here, yeah, I think I drew these life lines out earlier. I do think that it will continue to rally a little bit more. Has had a really crazy, 50% move almost here. But similar to the last, or not similar to the last, but similar to a lot of the ones that we've seen today, I do think that you're going to be holding this range for a while. So while it does continue on short term, could even hit like 90 cents ish. I do think that you'll be just ranging sideways, and after that, probably comes back down, maybe in around the 70 to 80 cent region again. And you kind of play ping pong for a while, and it's not really until you have a resolution above or below this range where I'd really be looking for anything like significant from there. But holding the range, generally would be good for the long term. It's going to take a long time, I suspect, like a long time at best. Let's see. We have Drew. He says, "Hey, Krown, why do you think this cycle top? Why do you think that the cycle top this year? Why do I think the cycle top this year? I've been saying Q1 of 2025, actually. Many things related to just how extreme a lot of the oscillators are right now. When Bitcoin was around $70,000, it is going to get a cool off period here. So we'll see how much it cools off, and that's going to perhaps elongate this cycle, but." If and when Bitcoin does break its current highs, I think you got 4 to 6 months from there, basically. So it's mostly based off of the extreme reads that we've already seen on on like your monthly stochastic over here. If you go to the monthly RSI, we'll see that this market. I mean, this is still a corrective read on the monthly RSI. To be fair, that's kind of the problem with it. You just don't see things kind of operate within these extreme zones for that long, and. I mean, this one is very much on par with actually the last cycle already, and the cycle before that did go on a little bit longer. But you just don't see things like stay up there for that long. So that's why I'd be a lot more defensive, and I think the cycle ends a lot sooner than what people already think. I mean, if you want to be super bearish, then the cycle already ended, I guess. But I do think that you get one more try. I mean, shit, even now that I look at the weekly right here, weekly stochastic momentum is going to turn back onto the upside above $54,000. Still got 5.5 days left to go. Yes, but holding on to these range lows already, I mean, yeah, you kind of have to be, in general, looking for something like this. Something like that, perhaps. I think is kind of best case scenario here. And you got range high, range low. And between there, doesn't really mean all that much, but keeps the bullish hopes alive long term, I suppose. But actually, going back to the prior question, or the same, was it the same question? Why do you think cycle top this year? I do think that not based off, but this current corrective period, the longer that this takes, the more and more time a lot of those oscillators will have to work out of those extreme conditions, and that could mean that the market cycle continues like overall longer, despite a more long corrective period here. But still, upon breaking current all-time highs, I'd say 4 to 6 months from that time, you should expect market cycle to generally be over. All right, moving on. Let's see. Anthony Gregg says this is a coin, not coin. Not good. Not coin, not good. No, look, very, very new here. Is still closing above the May lows, or sorry, in this case, July lows. I do think that this one will continue to rally off of here, seeing stochastic momentum turn back onto the upside. It could very easily rally towards like 1.25 cent. But again, sideways here, I think is kind of best case scenario for a while. It could very easily look something like this, sideways boom, maybe even tries the top side of the range, something like that. Only bearish to come back down below these lows from July, and it has not done close below those lows from July, which it has not done yet. Not super strong, not super weak. Also has not been around for super long as well, so hard to do any sort of long-term analysis on it. But I'm generally leaning towards just a range for most of these things for like the next month or two, honestly, until like October. All right. Jacob is back. He's looking at Coinbase 4 hour daily. Yes, I always like looking at Coinbase. Where is my coin derp?
Should I close the chats?
I think they're pretty much done anyways. But sure. Coin derp. Jesus, man. Have to wait for the weekly here, yes, but if the weekly can close back above $200, I think the lows are in. Like I'm not bearish on traditional markets really. I think they can maybe retest around the lows, yes, but I'm not really bearish on them. If this weekly closes above $200, I'd say lows are in. It could easily retest those lows, but I would say lows are in, and you should expect some sideways between 250 and about 200 for like a month or so. Mr. Miggles, what the fuck is that? Let me pin that. Okay, pinned it. Let me take a sip of this water. 4 hour. Let's see what the low term time frames look like. Got a nice little gap right at 200. I do think that you will test that today. The question is, does it close above there today, and preferably by the end of the week as well? If you see something like that, I do think that this, I would feel comfortable saying that the lows are in, and yet another higher low compared to your January lows. So wouldn't hate that, honestly, long term. Quarterly, a little bit more of an issue there, but a long time left to go before that becomes relevant. So wait for the weekly. Weekly above 200, it's okay. Weekly below 200, not okay. Cruise 80 says, brother, please take eyes on AMI. Okay, the fuck is this? AMI, okay. Ecomai sounds legit. Does not look legit. Looks terrible, sir. I take back the award for the prior worst chart of the day. This one is the worst chart of the day, and
Why are you gay?
that's what I need to know. It's bad, man. It's really, really bad. It's really, really bad. It goes down, and it goes down by a lot, and it literally doesn't even know what an uptrend is. It's bad. It's really fucking bad. I don't know. You got to be drinking the Kool-Aid for something like this. Yeah. It can try rallies from here, I guess. I mean, Moses market is trying rallies, but these are only lower highs the whole way through. I mean, this thing could literally 3x and not even reverse shit. So that's a problem. Not good. So short term, I don't know, maybe you try for a rally there. You didn't include any time frames, but I would not be expecting any sort of reversal on something that literally doesn't even know how to go up anyways. Terrible. Absolute garbage. Absolute fucking hot garbage. Johnny John says AIOZ. Okay. AIOZ. Okay, very weird chart here long term, like got absolutely crushed in 2022 and then went fucking lunar in 2023. But another one that continues to hold these range lows in a very, I guess I already have this one charted. LARP line's still relevant here. I'm not bearish as long as you're above, what is this, 35 cents? I'd even say 37 cents, 37 and a half cents on a daily closing basis. Not necessarily bullish as long as you're below about 68 cents, 68 and a half cents. And I do think that short term, you probably continue on with the rally, maybe even test the tops out of this range, but it's going to be sideways for a while. Weekly. Yeah. Probably okay on the weekly, actually. Probably okay, but I do think that it will take some time here. So just kind of look for it to do the sideways dance in this range here. Just continue on with the LARP lines. And then maybe later this year, it tries an actual breakout above about 68 and a half cents. And at that point, you probably see prior highs from March and maybe even new highs from there. But yeah, weird one, but not bad yet. Only bad below about, let's call it 38 cents on a daily closing basis. Until then, I mean, it's just another sideways range with a really nasty wick from yesterday, as most things have. Kevin Franco says, can Bitcoin hit 90,000? Yes, it can. It can also hit $0. I mean, what's the probability of these things? Well, we can actually generate something like that. I don't know how accurate it's going to be right now, but where's my HPDR chart? What the fuck? Where did it go? Do not make fun of me, Elsa. I will fucking kill you. Kidding, okay. Can it hit 90,000 bucks? I mean, sure, can. What's the probability of that? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that, man. Maybe not anytime soon. I mean, if it is going to make a move towards 90,000 bucks, I'd be looking for that like around end of year or beginning next year. No. Elsa says no. And Elsa's usually right, actually. Anyways, you're El Satoshi. El Satoshi. Oh. Oh. Huh?
Can we do the higher long song?
The what song?
Higher, higher long.
Would you? All right. Do you want to do it? All right. Come on. Come over here.
You have to do it.
No. You have to come over here and you have to do it. All right. Elsa has something to do.
Can I just do it here?
No. You need to go over to the microphone. The camera isn't even on. All right. Here's Elsa's contribution. Give me a higher low. Thank you for that. How come you didn't include like the ending? I wanted to hear some Christina Aguilera action. Hold on. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. Give me a higher. Bring me the higher low. What a dump. Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me no more. What a dump. Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me no more. No, it does not sound horrible. You don't know what you're talking about. All right. That might be it for today, guys. It's been an absolute pleasure on this nice little Tuesday morning. We'll be back on Thursday, actually. Double stream this week. And for the time being, Again, for Bitcoin, I mean, honestly, I'm more or less focused on traditional markets here, just because I think the more obvious things going on there. But a couple of points of hopium for Bitcoin, closing this week out above $56,000. I mean, it's actually going to look okay, I suppose. But it's a long week left to go. And I think the big focus here is on traditional markets, which I believe will continue to bounce. After the bounce, I would be expecting this one to probably retest, probably around the 200 simple, which is 17.9 right now for NAS. And that's one that's most likely going to play along with Bitcoin. Does Bitcoin come back down to low 50s after that? Perhaps yes, but perhaps that would actually be a major buy. But I want to see this one kind of evolve a little bit first. And again, keep your eyes on the August lows for NAS, as we went over in the beginning of this video. Perhaps tomorrow I'll do a little bit more of a directed video on that. So I think there's more to actually discover there. But yeah, that'll do it for today. As always, I want to wish everyone the best of the best. Thank you for all of our lovely moderators joining on in here. I see Bear Nutrition. What's up, man? Good to see you, brother. And all of our OGs as well. And with that, I will be signing off. Wishing you the best as always. Take care, much love, and see you